What is good, everybody? It's your boy Agent P, aka my real name Leonard Pinckney, here to give you guys the Nuggets talk recap. Magic and Nuggets. Oh man, this one I will be annoyed for an evening for sure. Let's get into the recap, guys. No Franz Wagner in here for the Orlando Magic, so it was all Paolo pretty much for this one. First quarter, 7:20 mark in the first quarter. Denver's up 16-10. Good start from the Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr. with 7 early points in the stretch. Had a really nice, strong drive, followed up by a 3 that led to a Magic timeout. Uh, key thing in this first quarter was that Braxton Key actually checked into the game early, end of the first half, or end of the first quarter, excuse me. Peyton Watson had 2 early fouls. So that was the reasoning that was told by to us by the sideline reporter that Braxton Key came in. And he came in and played well. He just did what he does well. Rebounds the ball, and he even hit a 3. So I thought he played well in his minutes. 37-28, Denver was up after one shot, 50% for the quarter, and hustled a lot. Out-rebounded Orlando by 7, 17 rebounds already in the first quarter. AG had 10 and 6, MPJ had 9. Second quarter, it was 43-36 with the 8:51 mark. Really nice play from the bench, like I said before, rebounding the ball well. That was the last note I said about rebounding the ball well, because after that definitely changed. 4:10 mark is 56-44 Denver. Beautiful spin move from Jokic, capped off a 13-8 run. Orlando called a timeout and was 67-54 at the half. Denver with a 13-point lead after shooting 50% in that first half. Orlando only shot 40%. They did give up more, for instance, rebounds in that second quarter, but Denver was still in control. Porter had 14, AG had 11, and Jokic had 11, AG had 10, Paolo had 16, and Suggs had 15 for Orlando. Third quarter, the Nuggets get their biggest lead of the night, 78-60, an 18-point lead at the 8:30 mark. Nuggets were cruising, came out of the third quarter on gangbusters. Looked like it was going to be an easy victory. Then 5 minutes later, at the 3:29 mark, lead got cut to 6. Immediately after, the Nuggets went up 18. They gave up 2 quick threes, cut the lead to 12 by Orlando, and then they called a timeout, and then just couldn't catch a rhythm after that. It was 91-85. At that point, they had just fallen asleep at the wheel, pretty much. They got outscored 31-24 to that point. It was 98-95 Denver at the end of 3. They gave up 41 points to Orlando in that third quarter, just like last night, giving up a gigantic third quarter to Golden State. They scored 44, so they gave up 44 to Orlando, got outscored by 10 in the quarter. It was disappointing, for sure. Paolo had a triple-double after 3 quarters, putting up a Jokic impression against Jokic, 23, 10, and 10. Jokic was at 22, 6, and 3 at this point. 6:38 mark, Denver actually retook the lead, 107-106. Starters come back in after the bench kept it close. Nice hustle plays from Zeke and Peyton Watson in this one. And then we have our last possessions. 2 minutes left in the game. It's 116-114 Orlando. Cole Anthony gets a nice reverse layup off a ball movement from the Magic. Jokic comes down, hits a layup. AG comes down, gets a dunk. Looked like an and one, didn't call it. Tied up at 118. 120-118 after Murray hits a couple of free throws to give Nuggets a 2-point edge. Paolo comes down, gets fouled, ties it up, hits both free throws, goes up. It's 120-120. Paolo next possession after they get a stop after Murray takes a terrible shot. He comes down, gets fouled, hits 2 free throws, 122-120. Nuggets last play of regulation. Get the ball to Jokic, pick and roll, get it back to Jamal Murray. Wasn't a lot of time. He got caught in the air, didn't have enough time, missed a shot. And the Magic, with another stunning victory. They are now 2-0 against the Nuggets this year, and they win 122-120 in Denver. What did Jokic do tonight? Solid game. 29-8-4. To his standards, solid game. 29-8-4, 13-19 from the field. Thought he should have got the ball more, actually. I'll get to that in a second. But I didn't think it was a bad game. Didn't think it was an amazing game. This is just kind of standard for him. And only but the 4 assist part is a little disconcerting. For just tonight. Just tonight. I'm not taking this too crazy, but just for tonight, 4 assists. Magic did their job, spraying out to everybody else and keeping the ball moving to a minimal for Denver. But the biggest culprit tonight, I praised him in the fourth quarter last night, but tonight he gets to wear the clown mask, or the whatever you want to call it. Jamal Murray. Jamal had a bad game tonight. He had 20 points of 9 and 23 shooting, 0 for 6 from the 3-point line, and for some reason he was just forcing it way too much tonight. There were way too many possessions where Jamal was over dribbling the basketball. And it seemed like he was also almost making it like a personal vendetta to go at Jalen Suggs, which isn't always the best thing to do because Jalen Suggs you're just going at his strength. He's a really good defender in this league at the point of attack. The kid hustles, plays hard, is physical, knows what he's doing on that end. And Jamal did get a couple of good shots off, but for the most part, it was negative plays against anything positive. Had 3 turnovers, and like I said, it kind of lent itself to Jokic only having 4 assists and Murray having a low assist total as well. He was just forcing it way too much, man. And against the Magic, hey man, it was working. We was up 18. Everything was fine moving the ball. And then for some reason, he was just going into I gotta do everything mode, and he didn't have to tonight. And we almost still won in spite of it. And Jamal's had better moments this year where it's just I am aggressive, and he's finding a way to be aggressive in the correct moments. Tonight he just wasn't. And it's okay for a night. It is what it is. It's not like a total referendum on his game. But for tonight, he was just too aggressive. And maybe that's fatigue, right? You're coming off a back-to-back, coming in late off that Warriors game. It's tough. Maybe you're not totally like 100% locked in. So for tonight, but that's Denver, right? Even when you're not totally locked in, it was only 1 possession game at the end of the game. So, but that's what's going to happen. Everyone's going to come and play Denver with their A game because they know they're playing the champs, and the champs got to knock everybody out when they have the chance. And Jamal Murray did not have a good game tonight. I'm sorry, Michael Porter Jr. That's my next topic. He had 22 points on 9 of 14 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3. He should have got the ball a lot more tonight. He was shot ready. He was springy. He was spry. And on a night where some of the Nuggets did look tired in this one, especially in the third where they just gave up an 18-point lead like that, Porter was one of the guys who looked like, hey, I'm not really that tired tonight. And it made sense. He didn't close out the fourth quarter. He didn't get that many shots off against the Warriors. He only had 8 points. So it would have been nice to say, hey, Porter's feeling it tonight. Let's get him the rock tonight. And he shot an incredible percentage, looked good going to the rim, pulling up. I liked his game a lot tonight, and I wish he ended up shooting the ball more. It's a little disappointing that Jamal just went into I got to do everything mode when other guys were doing well in this game. So, Michael Porter Jr., I'm sorry tonight. Hopefully, I mean, we talk about getting you the ball more all the time, right? But, hey, man, it is what it is. I want to give some kudos to the Orlando Magic, man. You don't just give up a lead and have the other team not do anything because of it. They played well. The only annoying thing for me was that this team is the 28th. They are the 28th worst team in the league in three-point percentage, and they went 17 of 36 tonight. They were spraying from everywhere. Jalen Suggs had a career high 7 threes. He made 7 out of 9. So it was just, it was just a frustrating game. It didn't make sense for them to make all those threes. They get to the free throw line a lot. That's what they do, lead the league in. So that made sense. But for them to just make all these threes as well, that was just annoying. I ain't going front. Paolo was spectacular. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, making plays all over the court. He was just a big forward, getting where he wanted to get to on the court. He had 19 free throw attempts, man. And most of them are legitimate. He's just going to the line, getting contact and drawing fouls. And that's what the Orlando Magic do. That's what he does specifically, and took full advantage of it. He was spectacular. That was pretty much the difference in the game. His great performance and them shooting 17 of 36 from 3. Denver, conversely, was 9 of 33 from 3. Even though both teams shot 50%, that was the difference, the 3-point line. Nuggets dropped to 25 and 12. Oh, man, the sky is falling. It's not, but it's a little bit frustrating for tonight, especially after such a nice win last night. But it is what it is. I'm almost annoyed at myself because I feel like I kind of spoke this thing, even though I have no influence on the Denver Nuggets at all. I was like, hey, man, watch them just like do some like just stupid stuff against Orlando, even though the seeds were there for a potential game like this to happen because you're coming off a late back-to-back. Honestly, the game ended at 10. Nuggets probably got in at like 4 a.m. just trying to sleep, get ready for the game. It's tough. I get it. But it's just one game. You can be frustrated tonight, throw it in the trash later after this one. So it is what it is. But Denver now 25 and 12. They get a day off, and on Sunday they play the Pistons. This was your Nuggets Talk recap. I'm your host, Leonard Pinckney. Thank you guys again for listening. I'll see you next time.